Hello everyone, it is me, MrSneakyy. Very exciting video today for you guys in particular that's been requesting all the war that's been happening in server 65. I have been recording bits and bats when I've been able to, so without further ado, I'm gonna conclude the whole war, what's been going on and where we're at today with a nice timelined video. So let's go through with the server 65 war, what's been going on in the last few days in our kingdom. So, when we first look at what's been going on, basically the first start of the fights do happen over in this very first pass. So basically, we, NxN, took the pass because no one was able to take it, so we got the first claim rewards, which was nice, and obviously we just relaxed there. But during this time, there were obviously 3 big whales on the server that didn't really enjoy just trying to power up at the start. So they wanted to have a little bit of a fight and a war with the nasty family. So off they pop, they went into the DS Alliance, which is located at the top now. But originally, it was located down in this south section. And what you're going to be witnessing is the fighting between both alliances. So you can see here, these are nRe's flags that they've been able to push through when it came to it. But when we come into this zone 1 area where all the fighting occurred, we can see all the different flags from Isle as well as the guys from DS that used to be all here. So that's what we're going to be watching first. So basically what happened were we were defending our pass, and DS was obviously trying to push through, which obviously they did do eventually, right? So they tried to push through. So we're going to watch that commentary of that fight in a moment. So I hope you guys understand that, right? So that's the beginning of the war. That's what basically occurred. During that time as well, you can see DS did as well take this pass. So they were trying to come from 2 sides, you could see, right? And this was their plan from their view, or plan of attack from their view, from what we could see. So let's move on into the gameplay commentary side now of the Zone 1 area. So this is what we're going to cover. So this is the fight here between NxN and DS. Enjoy the gameplay commentary. So these are the beginning ages of the fight, you know, we're wondering what's going on here, but obviously DS are pushing forward. Our guys not obviously ready for this fight right now, so you're going to see a little bit of a murder ball between both alliances working together, obviously, to try and defeat each other. Obviously, DS are getting the upper hand during this time. There's a lot of big players, so nRe here charging in with that cavalry unit that is marked, and as you can see, all of the NxN Alliance doing a perfect job at focusing him down to obviously kill that cavalry unit and make him lose that -10 stamina. And when we go through, you can see everyone gets that nice kill. Obviously, the Chinese player in the background helping nRe in the DS push forward, but the NX are holding a nice front line as well with the match that they've got here. But you can clearly see the numbers do outweigh us. But when we move a little bit in the future, you can see we do rally up and get our numbers together, which is right now when we start destroying this flag. And as we're destroying this flag, you've got Kratos here trying to cause problems, and I'm in control of the Beastmaster role. So we're going to summon a bear here to defend all of our builders, and there it goes, it's summoned. It's going to defend anything within that blue circular range. You can see he's located down at the bottom, and now this is obviously for me the very first time I was using the bear, so it was a really cool thing with the brand new update. But my job here was to help with my alliance members. So with the bear, I am focusing down all the front line as much as I can because they're already getting weakened through, and then I try to help the back line, but I was trying to make sure this bear was creating a little bit of space between my alliance members and Kratos, because Kratos is the #1 power player in server 65, and you can gonna see why right now. When all these 5 marchers do start focusing down the bear, the the yellow armor shield about to get absolutely shredded by Kratos here, and now I'm trying to obviously use the skills to try and create as more space and more disruption by CCing and knocking up as many of his marchers as possible to hopefully help my alliance members punch through, right? So those guys are getting hit though, and they're getting killed as well, because the amount of counterattack damage here Kratos is able to pump out is absurd, as you're going to be able to see. But this is, again, day 1 or 2 of the major fights that start to break out. And obviously, as this footage keeps progressing, you're going to see a strategy from NxN and nRe and NWO slowly reveal itself and slowly become prominent. So we're going to cut the footage here in a moment, but you can see Kratos doing a fantastic job melting down, honestly, our bear and providing an absolutely insane 5-march wrecking ball for us to deal with. So let's move on into where the fight progressed in the later stage. So I hope you enjoyed that, a little bit of commentary as well as the fun fighting that we did occur on the front lines with NxN, right? So that occurred during this past one area. So while that was going on, obviously the next fight in the next front was on the top zone. So what ended up happening was DS started to push through, as you could see, and NxN dropped a fortress here, and with the support of nRe, they dropped a fort around here too, which allowed them to push in and obviously defend and help us as an alliance, which is a really good job from them as a family member, you know, family alliance working together to try and beat the tyrants that were DS during this time. So what we're going to see now is, again, some fighting that happened now in the top side of the map. So this is, again, after a couple of days of fighting on the south side, we moved to the north to try and move it and split it on 2 fronts. But what you're going to watch is me commentate over, again, some gameplay. But it's going to be a really effective method, guys, for you to beat Wales with, for example, the stamina system. So stay tuned for that little bit of gameplay that's going to transition swiftly right about now. So yeah, we've got everyone here pushing on the north side of the map, as just discussed, right? And what you're going to see is this play here at level 23 wasting so many troops. And the reason why, we don't know, but he thinks it's like Rise of Kingdoms and other games where you're able to keep coming in and out of cities, but just count every single time this player pops out of his city and then just gets absolutely murdered balled by the, obviously, people around. Because by doing that, he's wasting 10 stamina every single time. And by doing that, he's almost out of troops. And we've had DS here now with Crazy Bob and the others now come to the top side to show some aid. But even though they push us through in this little bit of an early stage of a push here, you're going to see again the abuse that we actually do against them by just out strategically thinking, how can we beat this whale, right? Because he obviously has stronger troops. Everyone can admit that. He has the stronger troops. He has the stronger commanders, but compared to Rise of Kingdoms, in Call of Dragons, you have stamina, and if we can make that player waste stamina and then send his troops home randomly by accident, then he's wasted those troops, and that means he's not going to be in the action maybe later on during the fight. So here we've got all the DS now slowly responding to our initial push on destroying this north side flag, which is obviously what we wanted to do. You can see us running away, getting our troops ready to basically start using the stamina plan that we was just mentioning in the earlier part of this clip. So you can see now DS again working very well together on the same page, focusing down on the targets, which is really good. You can see even Lion saying ball up, and we're gonna ball up and push them back through, which is going to happen again with a nice smooth transition into the future, because obviously you can see DS punched us through, which is correct, which is what we needed them to do. But this is where we're going to start abusing that stamina. So you can see Straga there on the flag. He only honestly has about 10-20 troops there. He doesn't have many troops. And if this guy again sends his troops out to kill anyone, which he does, he's wasting stamina. So now count every single time this guy runs in and out of his city, you're going to see him waste a bunch of stamina. And if you are a free-to-play player or even a new player, this is a big no. You do not do this. This is wasting too much, again, stamina. And if you waste your stamina on your main commanders that you want to fight with, you won't be there later on when the main fight starts, right? So you're going to see, again, us abuse this guy with his stamina usage here. Him not really taking into consideration what he should obviously be doing. And every time he pops out, you're going to see everyone here focus him with their marchers and melt him and waste his troop count and obviously fill up that hospital. So it's a really good tactic. What I wanted to show you guys during the north segment, because the north segment was more a battle of attrition, right? It was more of a battle of attrition. How many troops can we purposely make them use while we were trying to use as least as possible so we can keep our stamina high, right? So you can see him again popping in and out, but our troops are continuing to doing their thing and destroying the flag. So in a moment, again, we're going to go back to the map in a moment, and obviously with that, you're going to see the map progress into from the north side into the center. And when it goes into the center, this is coming almost into the conclusion and the ending stage of where the war was before some sort of peace talks that did start to occur now during, say, the 26th, 27th of April of recording. That's when everything's a little bit cooled down, but we're still at war. Just remember, when I did record this video, we are still at war, and we are obviously trying to talk to him about it, but you can see this guy and many other players in DS wasting stamina the way they are. So let's move on. Let's go to part 3 of the fighting, where you're going to be able to see NWO as well as NxN working together to destroy the DS Alliance. There we go, and now we're back at the map. I hope you've been following through with what's been going on so far in the past few days. Obviously, I haven't been able to participate myself too much because I've been working, right? So I've been able to record what we've been able to record and obviously cover as much as I can from my perspective, because again, we're trying to just stay out the drama. We're just trying to enjoy the game and fight with the Alliance when we need to, right? So this is what occurred up again. So we started fighting here, and then what happened was a nasty push by DS. So DS did push through into this zone and eventually went down, and you can see these reminiscence flags from where they had, right? So these are some DS1 flags they did have, and this is where Road to Glory episode, I think it was 15, when I nearly got 0, this is what was occurring during that time, right? So a lot of you know, if you've been following the Road to Glory series, what's been going on the map too. So that's what happened then. So the DS pushed through, took this bear, and then carried on pushing through, and they got to almost a stalemate here due to the amount of flags and again stamina usage they had to use. And when they did realize this, I think this was when it was a major turning point, because during this time you have obviously heard two alliances, NxN and nRe, during this fight, but NWO did want to come into the fray. NWO during those few days did help out too. They were trying to obviously just almost like stab him, you know, in the back quickly, just cheeky shiv, you know, you guys know what I mean, cheeky shiv, right? And get him and help him and just like try to cause pressure on this south side, which was really nice to see. But eventually a map and a plan came together, which you can see where NWO did eventually push through and take this pass, allowing the DS to run away, because they can't now fight on two fronts, because they've got this front to fight on. They had another front to fight on, which was in the middle, which is where we are now, and then they had the top front to fight as well. So one alliance, even though they had 3 whales, those 3 whales was split, against 3 different alliances, and obviously it was too much to handle. So now what you're going to be witnessing is some fighting from NWO. This was obviously going to showcase when they were just trying to help. Obviously, it's a little bit dominant from the DS members, but what you guys need to take in consideration is the fact that even though 2, 3, or 4 members of the NWO Alliance died, the amount of troops that the DS members used and the stamina usage they used was definitely in the profit for us, allowing us in the long run to overtake and take the obviously zones and areas what we've been able to control, right? So let's go into some of the footage that happened and basically succeeded on the NWO side over time that allowed them to capture this bottom area, and then obviously we were going to come to a nice summary at the end of the video. So here we are again with part 3, the final area of the fight, and as you can see, it's a very crazy one. DS making a massive push on us because we were in the center, and the reason is we were fed up of all this fighting. We're gonna try and go in for the kill, and this flag placement by Trip, our leader, was perfect. You could see it was so close to our zone, it allowed us to fight on the zone, but more importantly, it touched just at the very top of the screen. You can see the tile, and by basically getting all of DS to come and react here, it's going to allow the NWO Alliance later on to fight and be able to do their thing, right? So you're going to see us here again trying to draw their attention, and when we draw their attention, obviously all the numbers come because they do not want this flag being built. But when this does occur, you're going to see NWO on their side, they would start to fight, and then when all the numbers would obviously jump and teleport over to defend the NWO fight, then we would have the number advantage on the center screen, which you can see here, and we would start to build and destroy that flag. So you can see we are making DS choose which front they must fight on, and if they're going to fight on one front, they're going to lose on a second or on a third front. A really good strategy that was implemented, and really good again teamwork between the Nasty Alliance family and the Boss Nasty project there, that obviously might have been a little bit slow in the start, but they did manage to work together, even though you can see these whales running rampant, and obviously the NxN Alliance working as well as they can and keeping them behind doors obviously and trying to keep them occupied while the NWO do their thing. So now we're going to show you now the NWO side. It's obviously their fights were just as brutal. So when the DS guys were noticing the NWO were pushing forward with a flag, they would instantly teleport over with the big boys. Here's Rahina, he was just on screen with Bob, and now he's here again, and he's fighting the NWO. So just imagine, guys, the amount of stamina usage. Again, we are forcing these major big players to use, and by making them use this stamina is a way you're gonna win, because again, if they're out of stamina, they cannot come out of the castle and fight, and if they cannot fight and you know you're stronger than their other members, you're gonna punch through. So this is again showing you NWO side, whenever they try to do any fighting, obviously we would then in the middle start pushing that flag to destroy that zone and split their territory. So it was a really good teamwork. It was a very hit and run, almost pull and, tug and pull tactic between the alliances, where it was making DS make a decision. Are you going to punch through the middle? Are you going to punch through the right? Or are you going to punch through the top? And as you're going to see towards the end of the video, when we do a nice summary, it showcases what their decision were, and the plan obviously worked through. We must commemorate and say, DS, you did work together really well and you fought. But let's move on to part 3 and the ending of the video. And there we are, nicely at the end of the story. I hope you followed it through. It was quite nice. Again, make your mind up if DS are the bad guys or not. It's up to you. I'm not here to cause drama. But it was really fun, to be honest, the amount of fighting that I did see happen, as well as some of the tactics used, right? So now in the kingdom, we are only fighting, I believe, in this top front. We have to just be careful in case of them trying to farm killers. But you can see we've been able to take the bear back as well as all the areas and get a nice defensive front, at least back in the nasty familiar in the server 65. So if you've enjoyed that timeline, guys, I'm going to just showcase the last little bit of footage that we captured, which was us killing the DS area. So let's snap our fingers and move to that. And just like that, we snapped and we've taken the DS bear. And this is, like I said, the last bit of footage to confirm the war, or say the major big fight, is over. We did succeed doing what we needed. So congratulations to all the nasty members that participated. And if you've enjoyed the video, guys, honestly, smash the like, comment, and subscribe. I know I haven't been really covered this fighting so far. I was honestly too busy to do it. But this is why we've done a nice timeline video for all you guys, so you can understand what's gone on. So smash the like, comment, and subscribe. But until the next video, guys, stay safe, stay sneaky, and peace out.